Foldscope, Aditya has already explained us about a variety of, like fragile and very useful instruments, useful microscopes, but most of them are very bulky, most of them are very expensive, and they are very fragile. So it cannot be having access to each and every one of us. And though they are very much mandatory to conduct any research work, uh, there is something which is very handy, and that is Foldscope. I will just give a brief idea of what Foldscope is to all of you, so that any of you, if you are working in the environmental biology or developmental biology, you can utilize this particular instrument, which has been very phenomenal in the last few years. So I will just go to the next. Okay. So this Foldscope, it's a type of optical microscope which can be assembled from the simple component, that is the paper and the lens. It is developed by an Indian scientist working in Stanford University, Manu Prakash, and his PhD student Jim. So the idea of this paper microscope, to develop this paper microscope, is very simple, that every one of us, being a student, being a citizen, can have a close look into the microbial world without spending too much of the money and without worrying of damaging very expensive unit. As I already said previously, that most of the microscopes are very fragile and worth a lot of money. So the principle of the Foldscope is very simple. It is based on the optical microscope principle, and you can see that the one diagram over here is that the first layout or the prototype or the like pictorial description that how this paper Foldscope microscope looks like, right? It started in 2010. The first prototype was developed for the Foldscope, presented in the TED Talk in 2012 by Manu Prakash, Dr. Manu Prakash from Stanford. In 2014, the paper came Foldscope origami-based paper microscope, and also a pilot program was launched, in which more than 60,000 Foldscopes were distributed to 135 plus countries. The program was supported by Bill Gates Foundation as well as More Foundation. In 2015, the Foldscope Instrument was founded. This company was founded, and in 2019, already 1 million Foldscope has been distributed across the globe in different countries and accessible to different school kids as well as the citizens. So this is how it looks. So this is how it looks, a paper Foldscope instrument, and this is a format of a Deluxe Foldscope instrument. You can utilize it for minimum 140x magnification. It can go even further that, and you can visualize a cell or anything with a resolution of 2 micron. You can see excellent insect wing photo. You can see some of the microbes, as well as whatsoever you want to visualize it, you can do it. I will show you how you can utilize this Foldscope microscope. And also you will see that there are several versions, and the most important and the excellent thing about it is that it is available in just few hundreds of rupees, and you can have an excellent magnification from anything you want to look at under the microscope. So I will just quickly show you that how this microscope works in this video.
Instrument, when you get it, it will come with a number of. So today we will see about the Foldscope instrument. So this is the Foldscope instrument. When you get it, it will come with a number of different components. We will quickly see that what all things are there in this Foldscope instrument. First and the foremost, it will have a paper something like this, which is having different folds and different places which you can cut, and then you can make a Foldscope instrument out of it. So there will be marking which you will cut, and then you will create the Foldscope. Along with that, it is also having an instrument manual, which is something like this, having information about the parts for the assembly instructions, how you can create the assembled Foldscope with the different steps, what all the things it consists of, accessories. And then also in the back side you do have information about the slide mounting, viewing, panning and focusing, your guided experiment, and some tips and tricks. So this is the instrument manual for the Foldscope. Now, as I said that it consists of several important components which helps in the assembly of Foldscope, and accessories which helps in mounting the slides and visualizing it under the microscope. So we will just briefly look at what all things it consists. As I already said that it is having this paper which is having marks which you can cut and create a Foldscope instrument. I have already done it based on the instrument manual they have provided, and it looks something like this. So this is the Foldscope instrument. Now in this instrument you will see that you do have an objective place where you keep your slide. For example, I'll just put a slide over here. So this is how you put a slide, and then there is a magnetic lens or cover. So this act as an objective in this Foldscope, and then this act as a eyepiece in the Foldscope. There is a D mark in the left and the right side, if you can see, and this left and the right side you can put your thumb and then move left, right, up and down, and it moves the slide. As you can see here, if I put it up or down or left or right, it moves the slide, right? So this is the Foldscope instrument. Coming back to the component it is having, or the accessories it is having, it do have a magnifying glass which helps in sample preparation. Also there is a possibility to use this light in near to the objective in order to increase the light source. Then we have some sample preparation kit. For example, this well plate. We do have a cellophane tape, some strainers of different size, you can see. Also we do have some components, for example a notebook and a pencil. We have slide covers. I'll show you how we can use that. Some PVC slides with different shapes. Same PVC slide. We have some nylon sheets, nylon filter sheets with a mesh opening size of 5, 25 and 100 micron. We have some double coat tapes which helps in attaching your phone to the Foldscope, which helps in digital zoom and magnification, as well as to take the photos and the videos. We do have some tag stickers, right? And we also have a tweezer, dropper, cotton swab, a small scissor, few extra lenses, sample tubes, that is a small centrifuge tube, microcentrifuge tube. We have some permanent slides for viewing. This is for muscle orchid leaves, and few empty slides, right? So these are all the accessories when you will buy a Foldscope deluxe box, and we will now see that how we can utilize this whole setup to mount a slide and to visualize it under the Foldscope, right? So first and the foremost, I'll introduce you to some of the slides or some of the things provided in the Foldscope. So we do have this glass slide. We also have some paper slides which I have not yet used, so I have not yet cut down even from the sheet. You can see here. So this acts as a paper slide with a space to provide the samples. Similar, you have some hole slides, like there are several holes in this slide where you can mount your samples, and if there is any living floating or swimming organism, it will trap here, which will help you in visualizing under the microscope, right? So we do have 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, total 6 paper slide, and we do have 2 glass slides, as well as we also have some PVC slides, which I will show you how we can utilize it. Again, there are several holes in this. Here you can see, right? So these are the PVC slides, and to cover the slide, we do have some cover slips, which are again PVC, thin PVC sheets, right? So these are the component accessories which helps in making the Foldscope instrument and visualize the slides. I will just briefly show you how we can actually make a slide. So what we will do is that we will keep a slide over here. Let us put in the back of this journal book. We will take a dropper, and recently while my trip to one of the salt pan, I have taken Artemia, which is a marine crustacean. So I will take this. Okay, but before that we will mount a PVC sheet on the so I showed you that there was a PVC slide. We will mount it like this. Okay, we'll mount it like this. Now we have a slide where we can mount the tissue. We can use actually this also in the case of paper. As I said, as I showed you here, it is a paper where you can put this PVC slide, and in the back side you can put the sample. So I am going to put a sample. So we will not bother about the water which is coming out, because we can wipe that out very easily. Now we have this slide with a Artemia on the top of that, and then we will cover it with the cover slip. Okay, so now we can see that we have mounted the sample and it is ready to visualize. Make sure that you do not put any fingerprint out of it, otherwise that will also be visualized in the slide. Now this is our, as I said, that this is our Foldscope instrument, and here you can provide the sample. Okay, before to see the sample which we have prepared, we will see one permanent slide which comes along with the Foldscope instrument. Okay, we will put a light. So what we have to do in the light is what we have to do in the light is, you see that the light is on, and again there is a magnet, so it will attract to the lens. Right now, that this is the phone, and you can see that in the back side we have pasted this lens cover. Since I have used adhesive which was provided in the kit, which looks something like where is it? Okay, so here this seat, but since it is not adhering properly in my mobile particularly, so I have also used some cellophane tape, so that it holds it properly. We will start the camera. Okay, and then we will try to visualize it. So you see, as you are going below this, you can actually see the content in the slide. Now we can go up and down, and we can try to, now you can see that as you are moving, there is whatever is there in the slide, this is a rhizome, it's appearing. Right now you can increase or decrease the magnification, or you can, I mean, you can focus it properly. In this you can see that, and also you can move the slides. Now that if we have to take a photo, we can focus in the phone and we can take a photo. Also you can do the digital zoom, and then you can take a photo. Right, so you can again zoom it and you can take the photo. Right, also if you are interested in taking video for the live sample, this is not a live sample, but instead, I mean, if you are interested, you can click on the video mode and you can take the video. Right, so I hope that uh, this module has helped you to understand that how we can take the photo and the video using the Foldscope. So similarly, we will also see the slide which I have just mounted here. Right, so similarly I will also show you the slide which I have just mounted for the Artemia, how it looks. So you have to just do like this. Then again you can put a light source, turn it, and then you can also see directly from this place using your eye. Okay, so I don't know, I will not be able to show you how, but what I can do is I can show you in camera. So similarly you stick to it. Now you will see this. Right, you will be able to see this. See the magnified version of this, magnified image of this Artemia. You can go right and left. Right, then if you want to take a photo or video, you can do that. Right, So these are the appendages of the Artemia, right? You can see the magnified image. So Foldscope provides you a magnification close to 140x, and it can help you. Now suppose if you are interested in the CT appendages which is of Artemia, you can further zoom it using your mobile, digital zoom using your mobile, and then you can take images. So another advantage is that sometimes these small CTs are characteristic for the identification of the species. So if you are managing to go with this much of magnification, it also helps you in identification of the species, right? You can go up and down. You see this, the magnification. So likewise we can.
So I hope that you managed to see the video. Uh, in the slide, I showed you the Artemia. If you can see in my slide, in this particular, wait, I will annotate it. So in this particular image of Artemia, which is a marine crustacean, you can see the eye spot right here. In the magnified version using the Foldscope, you can see the eye spot, and then the CT is present near to the eye spots. Further, you can see that there are appendages here. So these appendages are amplified over here. So this kind of magnifications you can see. In the chat box, there was a question that how we can do the uh, scaling. I mean to say that how you will make the scale. For that purpose, what you need is a cover slip. There are cover slip with a cell and with the scale. So that kind of cover slip you can use, which helps you in taking the scale. Similarly, this was one of the rhizome, and that you can see that the amplified part using the Foldscope. Now, this was some of the basic idea what I wanted to give you for Foldscope. Foldscope instruments do have a very good resource tab where you can get the idea about how you can utilize it with the lesson plans, tutorials, and several translations into various languages. Also, Foldscope do have a community called as Microcosm where each and every instrument do have their own registration number. Once you are registering, you can put your photo and you can also put your project what you have been undertaking using the Foldscope and share it into the community of the Foldscope. Similarly, these days a lot of research has been happening using the using the Foldscope instrument. And one such research which has happened in our institute in this year, published in 2020, on the developmental stages of zebrafish embryos and toxicological studies using Foldscope microscope. And you can see that even reputed journals are taking the images taken by the Foldscope and with a very good resolutions out of it. So pretty much that's it. I wanted to inform you about the Foldscope instrument, and that's it. So that's it from my side. Aditya, are you